So today's video is going to be going over the ladies haul that I've got here. This is 3 different toys from 3 different manufacturers from 3 different properties. So I'm pretty excited about this. Also, I don't think Disney owns any of them except for She-Hulk. I could be wrong. You know what? I think I am wrong about that. I think Disney does technically own this. Not sure. But anyway, they're very separate properties. So it's very exciting that we're going to get to go over all of these today. I'm going to start with She-Ra, and then we're going to do Yor, and we'll do She-Hulk last. So let's go ahead and go over the Ladies of Power haul. She-Ra being the first. You can kind of see she comes with some accessories. I'm very curious about her fabric capes. She comes with 2 different ones. You can see the one that goes over her shoulders and the one that's kind of behind her hair. She also comes with the separate hands. I think that's the shield. Would make the most sense. And then her like proper She-Ra masked up head. So this tape is on the top. This was actually on clearance at Target for about $10, a little under $10. And the manufacturer for her is Mattel. So we're going to be doing Mattel, SHFiguarts, as well as Hasbro, who I'm quite critical of. So let's check out Mattel first, and there's She-Ra. You can see they've had her accessories, at least, I think just actually just this hair part is kind of strapped in with this little bit of elastic. I think I should be able to get it out still without even having to cut that. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that does come out super easy. So this is her second head that she comes with. Very nice, very nice. And then that's her there. Let's go ahead and get these extra accessories out because this box is hella clunky. Ooh, that's kind of stuck. Spare fists makes a lot of sense. The She-Hulk, actually it's a fist and a gripping sword hand, which makes me wonder, what is gripping the sword currently in the box? Is it not a gripping sword hand? It should be. I guess, okay, that's a little disappointing. The sword is bent to hell, but a little bit of work and we can get that back to normal. Nothing plastic is ever really broken. Don't quote me on that. So it looks like she's got a right hand for holding the sword, and this is her left hand for holding the sword, if she's going to be doing that. And then she just has a right fist versus the left kind of open hand. So let's put those fists back there. I'm probably not going to change either of those ones over here for this video because I think we all know what fists versus open hands look like. I'm more interested in the rest. And I am a little concerned about her breaking because this is awfully difficult to get out. No, it's still, it is a fabric cape. I'm trying to figure out why. Oh, that's why, because her feet are tied in. Okay. Very carefully, because I may have had a glass or 2 of wine before this. without doing that is what I was trying to say. I'm sure you guys just saw a fun angle of my chin. Let me go ahead and pause this and get this done. Okay, got it out there. Hopefully that's the only parts that are attached. What the heck? Oh, her arms. They have the stupid little things on her arms too. Let's see if I can get my knife to do this without dying. Did that even do it? It did do it. Okay. And then this arm. I cut her ankle a little bit. I'm kind of mad. Ooh, that almost just cut my hand. But it did cut the plastic. Oh, no, it didn't. Just kidding. Let's try the back. This is ridiculous how many ties they have on here. It's like this. Oh, God, finally. Okay. There we go. There we go. Ah, there we go. Okay. 20 minutes later. Oh, it's only been like 2. Get all that plastic to the side. This is a secondary cape. It's her, let's call it her ceremonial cape. It has a little bit of, oh, that's all. The cape was apparently also attached to the box. I would not hesitate to say that Mattel probably has the worst packaging I've ever opened a toy from. That was difficult for absolutely no reasons. But okay, so there's her extra cape. I am mournful there is not a wire in this. I did not expect there to be a wire in this, but just looking at it now outside of the box, it's very clear how much a wire could have improved it, but that's fine. Again, $10 action figure. We're not talking about anything crazy. Now, the most obvious thing that's going to be an issue with this figure, for me at least, that's my cat trying to play with the box now, is the hair. I can see her joints are a little stiff. She does have the double jointed elbows, which is nice. Not even Marvel Hasbro is doing that. On that side note, I feel like if Hasbro was to really take a good look at what their Marvel Legends team is doing right now, what they're releasing, that extremely spiteful Emma Frost, that is a spite release. That is not a release for people who want to collect toys from this company. That is a release to say, excuse my cursing, but fuck you to the fans. That is 100% what that Emma Frost is. Anyway, I feel like if Hasbro was to pay attention to what their Marvel Legends crew is doing, they would clean house and start over, because it's really embarrassing, frankly, right now. Anyway, her outfit looks cool. Again, the fact that she can't in the slightest bit lean back due to her hair being very long and extremely hard is a little disappointing, because you can really barely even line up the lines of her outfit to be correct. The way that her hair kind of makes the figure want to stand is the slouch, which I think the kind of upright look is a lot better for that. Get the arms downward a little bit. And even if I tilt her head down, if you tilt her head down, it's a little better, but there really isn't a whole lot of mobility anyway. But I guess that's, you know, not the biggest issue in the world. I love how she looks fucking ripped. Absolutely just bulked up. She is yoked. But anyway, boots, love it. I like how she looks, you know, maybe I just never made the connection about it, but she does look a little bit like a Greek goddess. Or Roman, yeah, I think Greek goddess because of the boots, right? I never really noticed that before with She-Ra. Really, really loved the Kevin Smith Masters of the Universe series. Stellar. The animated She-Ra series was absolutely fantastic. The vibes were pristine. I think they did a really phenomenal job with both shows, and I would love for both shows or either show to get renewed, but due to reasons of the internet, I don't think that's going to happen. So I'll just rewatch them to infinity. Let's see about that other head, if we can. And cape, I guess, is the other thing. Not an easy head to get off. The massive chunk of hair is probably what we have to thank for that. This is what that cape, the short cape she was wearing, looks like. It's just a ring around her neck and a little short cape. Let's put this more beastly thing on. I already like that so much better. With the She-Ra head or with the She-Ra head? You know what? We pretty much can tell what that would look like. It's exactly the same, minus the mask. So we can imagine what that would look like. Let's not focus on that so much. There's the snap. All right, we have improved vastly with simply just this cape. Wow. This is how she's gonna go on the shelf. If I can, I'll have an arm out and somehow tack the cape to it like she's holding it out. I feel like that's awesome. But then the sword, where are we? The sword, which is still a little bent. I gotta do a little bit of work on warming that up and rubbing at it. But we'll get it. It'll be okay. $10 toy. You can't be that mad about it, right? Boom. That goes into her hand way easier than I expected. The power of Grayskull. Hold your hand up in the air with the sword. And then this one, I think if I probably put the fist on this, it would honestly look a little better. Regular wrist joints for, you know, this kinds of companies. Nothing special. Actually, those are both right hands. Oh no, this is left hand. That's left hand. Okay, so she does have a grippy left hand. I was trying to have her in a fist in the left hand, but they only have the fist for the right hand. Arm back in a about to go into battle pose, sword up in the air in a about to say a speech about going into battle pose. I would just like to mention the cat has dragged the box of hers from the left side of me all the way over to the right side of me and several feet beyond. That's what the noise you've been hearing is. That has been him. It looks like he's trying to get into the box and also paw on the plastic to get in that way. He's not a smart little dude. I will not give him that. He is not intelligent. He's a 12-pound, 8-month-old kitten. But anyway, so She-Ra, this does very slightly remind me of this Stefan Sejic, which if I brutalized his name there, I'm so sorry, I probably did. But if you look at his Instagram, at least, it's probably on his Twitter too, he has been doing some 3D renders of a She-Ra and He-Man statue. Completely bonkers good. I don't think I've ever seen an iteration of either character look so fantastic, and I'm not necessarily a fan of He-Man. I'm a fan of She-Ra, in case that wasn't obvious based on this video. So that's, I think we've covered enough of her. Let's go ahead and move on to the next box. She does also have the shield that I forgot to put on there. It clearly goes through her arms. There's no mobility of any kind, so you get what you see. It's not that bad anyway. Now, from Bandai, this is Figuarts, yeah. SHFiguarts Bandai Namco. Yor from Spy Family, which I believe is actually pronounced Spy Family, not Spy X Family, which is how I used to say it. You live, you learn. Yor being obviously the assassin character. She comes with 4 extra faces. Do you see this? Wow. I opened this box the other night, I will admit that, to take a look at her. I guess the faces got a little misplaced from their slots. My bad. But you can see them here. And you'll see them when we open it up. One thing that I immediately noticed for this figure was that she has these straps from the original art, right? And they move. You can kind of see in there, possibly, that the strap is kind of upwards over her shoulder instead of to the side like that in like these pictures. That is because it moves to be enabling her to move however you would like her to. There we go. I haven't taken her out of the box, but clearly the faces got a little misplaced when I opened her up to check her out earlier. So here's the faces. They are dreams come true, frankly. I think there's only one face they really missed for Yor. Now remember with Anya, they only did 3 faces. So with Yor, they've given her 4. The only one I feel like they've missed is Extreme Rage. Because you can see we have Upset Face, but not Extreme Rage. They are going to be re-releasing this figure in a different outfit as the like sweater outfit Yor instead of this like assassin outfit, I guess you would say. These are falling down too. But they are there. We'll see this in a second. So hopefully when they release the sweater Yor, she will have that extreme rage face. Getting her out of the way for a second and her plastic. You can see that she has got a number of hands as well. He's still going hard at that. The box. Oh. That's why we keep these accessories in the box, because if you didn't, you will lose them immediately. We'll check out some of the hands and things to see what she has on her right now first. Removing all of the plastic capes and whatnot that go on the figure to protect it from the box. Doing a quick little look around, 100% correct about the little straps here. Let's go ahead and move them down to where they would be in a standard just standing around position. Absolutely great. That's a little scary. I'm sorry. This head is quite... It's not loose because it doesn't fall. I just realized I was like way over here. Sorry. It doesn't fall to the side, but it's very easy to move around, which is not bad. It just kind of surprised me. Because it feels like it would be loose, but it's not loose because it doesn't... I guess it does kind of do that, huh? It's a little bit looser than I think I would like, but that's okay. Makes me a little bit nervous for taking off the faces. She's got the nice braid in the back detail. Obviously the hairpiece, the earrings. generally just great face details. Her outfit doesn't need too much detail in it, but what it does have in the story, it has, oh, I just said it has no outfit, no detail to it, and I was fucking wrong. That's amazing. Those roses? That's awesome. I gotta rewatch the anime now and see if she has those on her outfit. Her knees are a little bit easier to wiggle than I would expect as well, but that's not such an issue. Let's start from up here. We already showed the head is extremely mobile. I believe this neck piece bends as well. Yeah, you can see it kind of tilting down or tilting back. So there is a joint right in here for the neck as well. We have for the torso, it's the whole, honestly, this whole figure is a lot, I don't want to say looser because it's not like they're loose parts and they're gonna, you tilt it up and it just flops back down. It's something like that, but it is, good Lord, cat, get out of here. It is not as tight, perhaps. Oh, and you can see one issue we have already here, that the things, well, first of all, they're removable, which perhaps is good to know. Although they'll leave a giant hole in Yora's boob, a little bit, her side boob. But that can pop back in, so if you have any issues with those popping out, they do pop back in. And of course, the reason for their mobility of going upward, because that's what happens when a woman raises her arm. Her sleeve goes up with it. So that's good. I feel like I'm focusing entirely on the wrong place, or at least the camera is. I'm not a big fan of this face, so I'm probably going to change that next after we go through all these joints and things. Her joints in general just feel so much, I guess, smoother. The head is the only one that really feels like it might be too loose. And of course her shoulders, they do the up and down thing, right? Where you can see here the shoulder is up. We're talking about this shoulder right now. And if I move that out of the way, there the shoulder is down. See, you can see a very clear difference in the joint here versus, oop, I popped it out again. So it's easy to pop back in, no worries. Joint going back up like that. Very similar to how a lot of the SHFiguarts do with their legs. Obviously, Yor is a character who has, I think, a little bit more flexibility in her upper body in this figure than her lower body, but to be that person, because people are going to want to know, her skirt is split into 3 pieces. They are fairly well rubberized. I can do this kind of stuff with them without feeling like they're gonna be breaking at any point in time. This cat is just gonna get in a lot of trouble today with the chaos he's doing, I swear. This, I'm not sure why. I think they put it a little, they put it a lot thicker. Her, what would you even call this? Her thigh highs, I guess? These little cuts in the thigh highs that go around the edge here. It looks really, really good. I would say even more defined than the similar piece in her neck looks, which is very well defined itself. Somehow they did it even better on the legs. It looks very 3D. Hasbro could never, frankly. She's got a little bit of booty shorts on, you can see, to cover up the parts that may go and be seen. I don't think there's a whole lot of forward motion movement due to the front skirt, although you can see there the front skirt does have, it is just a front flap. It's not even really a full skirt. See? See? It's just a front flap. So she is fully mobile. I just think it's a little bit easier for her legs to go backwards than to go forwards. But if you really wanted to do that, let's move her legs straight down in line with her body. Flip this one up. It is still possible. This, again, Hasbro could never. We'll get to Hasbro next with that She-Hulk figure. Her knees are... Is that technically a double joint? I guess it is, isn't it? Yeah. Knees are double jointed. It's got just the one ball there to make up the whole joint, which to me is, I think, clever engineering, no? The bottom of her shoes are like Louboutins, or is it Louboutins? I don't know. Somebody who's more fashion sensible than me, let me know how to pronounce that properly. But they have the black boots with the red bottoms, was my whole point there. The toe joint is also jointy. And by that I mean there is a toy joint, period. Once again, Hasbro could never. Her shoes, you know, I feel like for SHFiguarts, the test of if the figure is good or not, can they stand on their own? And we still have her faces and her knives to look at still too, so. God damn, that was easy. Look at that. That was so easy to get her to stand. Wow. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. Shoot. Let's go ahead and just leave that off the head for now. But that's a good way to see the neck joint movement. You can kind of see the neck joint itself, not just this. This is its own thing, this little ball joint. But the neck joint itself is its own movable part. That's what gives you some really good head movement. Now, with SHFiguarts, what you usually do is you pull off basically the bangs, and that will reveal where you can remove the face. So it looks like this is about the same. The headband makes it really easy to look seamless. However, it is not seamless. I'm a little bit afraid the fact I'm pulling on her hair here. But you can kind of see it coming off. There we go. Comes out just like that. This is not one that I would be able to share hair with any of the other SHFiguarts. I think they do that on purpose. They put these little pieces in with different slots into the head so that you can't share hair pieces between lines, but that's okay. The next thing you do is you take the face off. With me, I'm going to just separate this and the back of the hair. That did it. And there you have faceplate number 1, which leaves you then, of course, with this absolutely nightmare thing, which if you put the hair back in, is slightly creepier. But let's take that back out. So let's try some of her faces here. We'll look at them up close first of all. We have the shocked your face. Very nice. Love it. We have the very happy your face. Maybe this one is my favorite. I'm not sure. We have stern your, which again, I'm hoping we're going to get that furious your head, which is very clear from the manga and anime, with the sweater your when we get that re-release of a different clothing set. And then we have sad your face. Oops, I just dropped her head. And she even has the little tear. You see it there? That's cute. Although there's like, is that a paint error there? Oh no, she just has a little bit of pink on her eyes. Okay. It's a little bit of pink and a single teardrop. So what I'm going to do first, or right now, is I'm going to put the very happy your face. There it is. In the your head. You see there's the slot. There's the entrance. Line it up. Funny. And then you line up the hair in the same way. Ooh, that one's a little harder to get in. There we go. Yay! Absolutely thrilling. I'm always terrified of putting these heads back on these import figures because the hole, you can see how tiny that little hole is inside there. And that's got to match up with this, which, if I didn't make that clear, you have 2 moving parts that you're trying to push this onto. It's not easy. And so that's why with some, like my husband's Spider-Man figures in the past, I think that's as on as it's going to get. They have, like, joint issues. Oh, my God, I was so afraid of breaking her. But I think he's okay. Oh, get back in the slot. Okay. Yeah! Sorry. Not sorry. These little things keep popping out, but the fact that they're so easy to put back in, I don't think it's going to be an issue. This one, for whatever reason, just wants to pop out more. There, now it's staying in a little harder. I feel like it's just a matter of getting it the right angle with the right amount of pressure, you know, from in here, in that loop. But knives, yes, knives. Or, sewing needles? Whatever these originally were, they're now knives. I would like to say they're sewing needles originally. And we'll just take, looks like she's got spectacular gripping hand. We have a fist, another fist right here. I can get it. Whatever, you get the point. And that's another gripping hand. So let's take the grippy hand. And is the easiest way to go up? Probably, honestly. Yeah. So there you go. She's holding it. This is the right hand. So we'll do a little hold your breath while I do that so I don't break it. These tiny parts make me so nervous. If you guys saw the Anya video, you know how nervous I am about tiny parts. I don't want to break anything or lose anything. Oh, okay, we got it on. Happy you're gonna murder your ass. Sorry, I just love this. Love this figure. She technically came out in 2023. If we're gonna be going with that, this is immediately on Best Figures of the Year list. And it is January 15th. So I really, really like this figure. For whatever tiny bits of critiques I was giving it, I have clearly worked my way through those, and I am happy with this, very much so. I think out of this haul of these ladies figures, this is very much my favorite one. Happy-go-lucky murderous Yor is just way too fun to see. So the last ladies figure of the haul is, of course, going to be Jennifer Walters' She-Hulk from the Disney Plus She-Hulk show. We have opinions about this. We are not going to overdo it with that. Glasses of wine regardless. Because in the end, we are here to support women's issues and not to be that idiot on the internet who's just writing about how this made no sense. Even though much of this made no sense. It wasn't very much like the comics. I love the social justice for women aspects that they did of it. I know that was a huge hatred point. That's not why I didn't like it. Why I didn't like it, I liked the show. Why I was not thrilled with the show was just the lack of comic book accuracy for absolutely anything. But that's it. That's all. Let's go ahead and get into this figure here. I got this at Target for actually the old Hasbro price of $20 or something like that, 20 cents. Whereas most of the other figures in the way, if not all, were going for the new upgraded price of $25, which don't even get me started on how ridiculous and money grubbing that is. I already mentioned the thing about if Hasbro was to take a good look at what the Marvel Legends line workers are doing, they would clean house and just start over, because I'm pretty sure, with the exception of certain figures and certain things that are very public, what the Marvel Legends team is doing on behalf of Hasbro and these figures is 100% not what Hasbro wants done. Like I said, that spiteful Emma Frost, that was a spite figure. It was a fuck you to the fans. Hasbro would not stand for that if they were at all aware of it. But in any case, I have not seen any others besides the Ms. Marvel. I don't recommend searching for her because while you can see a good bit of detail in her costume on this photo, I thought it was the Avengers game Ms. Marvel when I saw it in the show. I'm sorry, in the store, because it does not have that detail. All of those beautiful, Muslim art details that they put in her outfit, it's not on the figure. It's very disappointing. And so out of all of these, aside from possibly the regular Moon Knight, this would be the only figure that I really care about. I really like the Disney Plus shows. Hawkeye was fun. The Captain America show was fine. Moon Knight was fun. I have so many critiques that I could give of these things, but in the end, it's really not worth it. Let's just enjoy things for what they are and not try to make things like, if we were to do this is how I would do it. What's the point of that? I would say my main disappointment of this particular figure, without even doing anything with it right now, is just the fact that there are pretty much, there are no accessories. I don't think anything in this you could rightfully call an accessory. Ultron's leg, obviously not even part of her. And then that just leaves her with her fist hands, which, I'm sorry, but you couldn't have given her a gavel, a different set of feet, a different set of hands, something to throw, a Daredevil's mask, Daredevil's underwear, something. You couldn't have given her anything at all with this. No, I feel like that's kind of sad. But looking around it just in the packaging looks great. We're not gonna have a packaging if we have a She-Ra, because Hasbro don't give a shit about their figures. I'm just kidding. This is actually one of the last figures I think that came in the visible boxing, as opposed to the new ones that do it, which is all just the cardboard. You can't actually see the figure line. We're not going to bother looking at the fist hands because we all know what fists look like. As I kind of predicted without actually saying on this video, the head has pretty much no mobility. That's something that we were never ever going to have anything different. It was always going to be no mobility. I will say it's a little odd how her hands are quite so splayed. Is that just me? This is not a hand holding like this. This is a hand like this. She's flexing her hands right now. It's kind of funny. They couldn't have given her a goblin from Limbo, which is clearly where that portal opened up to that one time. You know, come on. A cell phone. They could have given her something as an accessory. Of course, giving her a cell phone would mean that I have to give her a third extra hand to hold the cell phone, and that's, in Hasbro's mind, probably asking above and beyond of them at this point. The Marvel Legends team specifically, they're doing amazing things with other figures in other lines, but the Marvel Legends, I feel like they're just trying to make a joke. At least I will give them this. At least all of this is detailed and not just painted. If I would have bet money that they would have just painted these details on, but they've actually sculpted a good amount of them. So, hey, good job not completely mucking it up. And holy goodness, just kidding, I was wrong. I always get it mixed up. Women's figures always have the thigh joint. Men's figures have a thigh joint and a calf joint. And still here we are, in the year of our Lord 2022, with no female figure calf joint. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal, but like, how is that hard? You do it on the men's figures every time. How is it difficult to do to the female figures? Whatever. She does look very jacked, which is 100% appropriate. I low-key think her legs look more jacked than the show. There goes the cat again with his toy. I thought she was too skinny in the show, so if she looks more jacked than the show, that's great. You can see I'm struggling a little bit here with her double-jointed elbows. This arm is not only very stiff and the hand very splayed, which I still am weirded out about for some reason. You can see only one of the double elbow joints really wants to move. Oh, there we go. We got the other one moved. Wow, that looks bad. Let's just ignore that and go back to the way it was. There is no extra extension of shoulders or hip joints the way that they do in SHFiguarts. The only amount of adjustment you're seeing there is because I'm yanking on it really hard. Facially, I mean, nobody's denying that they could have done at least an extra face with this figure, if nothing else. You don't want to give her an accessory? Fine. Why didn't you give her an extra face? This is just going straight along with the Hasbro trend of the Marvel Legends line, specifically their females not having facial expressions. Just look at your shelf. If you've never thought about that, look at your shelf. Just do it. Just look. What female figures have any amount of expression? Because this one sure has none. I would have really loved to have an amount of expression. I don't think I would have cared if it was angry or happy or joyful. Just an expression. Any amount of expression. Other than that, the face, honestly, the face is fantastic. The face is remarkable. I'm not going to lie. Just the fact that it has zero expression to it is quite annoying. Especially knowing that that was a Hasbro Marvel Legends trend. Her hair is pretty cool. They put that very light green tint in with the black. Or I guess very dark green tint in with the black to make it the proper She-Hulk color of very, very, very dark green. That's basically black. The backside looks great. They've got the whole figure pretty much all the way around looked at. They gave her a nice big rump, which is accurate to the character as we all know and love. It doesn't wiggle, so it's not like the figure is that mobile anyway that you cannot... You know what? Let's see if we can get her in a twerking position. She's not actually going to be twerking. We know this. You know we can't because her feet. Damn it, Hasbro. If she had yours feet, she would be able to twist and stand on her toes But since she doesn't have Yora's feet, she's pretty much just left, and she can't, there we go, that's a little better. How would her hands be when she's twerking? What do you think? On her hips? On her waist? There we go. That's as good as you're gonna get if you're looking for a stallion twerk. And I don't think she can even stand like this. Let's see. No, the issue I'm still coming across is that you can't get her feet to go forward enough. Oh, wait. Spread the legs a little bit. Turn her sideways. She's standing. Bitch is standing. Now, okay, so Hasbro. Where's my Megan the Stallion action figure? I feel like they need to go on the shelf together now that I figured out you can have her stand like this. It's not a twerk because there's no motion, but I think it's the idea across. Yor still wins this figure competition. It wasn't a competition, it's just a bunch of women. Yor is clearly going to be on my best figure list of 2023. Parts of this are amazing, like the muscular definition, the suit, I think they did a great job. However, there is very little flexibility. The face looks phenomenal, but it has very little expression. She has the double jointed elbows, but they look absolutely garbage when they both bend. It's toss up, honestly. It's really just, she's more of a statue, I guess, is what you're gonna have to go with than an action figure. Put her in a single pose and just have her like that, and that is your time of She-Hulk. Yor has already gone into the other room, but here's She-Ra as comparison. We don't think we got She-Ra to stand ever, did we? And there she stands. She is, I think, a little bit shorter than She-Hulk because I got her squatting the slightest bit right now. Remember, because she's trying to twerk it out. She-Ra thinks she's weird. And I am going to go finish this bottle of wine.